Good morning, everyone. Today is April 2nd. We made it through April Fool's Day, thankfully. Today we're going to talk about some helpful hints and tips for DirecTV. I'm only going to discuss 4 topics today. I'm going to try to do more videos like this. Keep in mind that each one of these topics I could probably talk for hours and hours. These are just some quick tips I thought would be helpful for, the beginning DirecTV user. I do plan on making videos for Dish and more in-depth videos for Direct as well, but we'll start here as just kind of a basic platform. So today we're going to talk about remotes, and then we're going to talk about one of the most underused features I think DirecTV has, which is the Quick Tune feature. We'll talk a little bit about the guide and then some of the menu settings. So, the remotes, there's typically 2 different kinds. Typically this one over here, you'll get if you get the new Genie DVR system. And then this one over here, typically you'll get if you're not getting DVR, if you're just getting the high definition only kind of setup. Everybody has their preferences on remotes. Personally, I do prefer this remote. It does work with the Genies, but I think I only prefer this remote because I've had this remote for years and years and years. I think if I gave this one a chance, it is a lot simpler. I'll give it that. This remote over here, it has a lot less buttons. The buttons that you use are a little bit more compact and right where you need them. It's a little less difficult to mess this remote up versus this remote where there is this slider bar that if it's slid to the right, it can, people can put their TVs on the wrong channels. There's all these red, green, yellow, blue buttons that, are no longer really needed in most cases. This remote's just my favorite because I've used it for forever. And a lot of the older DirecTV customers, they're going to say the same thing if they were to be upgraded to this. But that being said, I'll be the first to admit this remote is simpler right here. So they both have the same basic layout as far as select buttons in the center, the up, down, left, and right. The record buttons are, they look fairly similar. You open up your DVR list by hitting list. I think it's over here on this remote. Sorry, that's the best image I could find. Your on and off. Your on and off is over here. Your menu is here. I think menu is here on this list, or on this remote, I mean. And then all your DVR functions are right here instead of up here. You still got your number key down here, and then your TV input button. Same thing down here, except for the TV input button's up here. So, again, everybody has their preferences, but typically new customers on the DVR Genie system are getting these remotes, and the ones that are getting just the high definition without DVR are getting these remotes. So that's that. Now we're going to talk about Quick Tune, and this is one of my favorite subjects, one of my favorite things to show customers, especially existing customers, because they never knew they had it all along. Very simply, when you grab your remote, and it doesn't matter which of the remotes you have before, this function works regardless. Whether you have DVR or not, this function is built into every receiver. And what you do is, forgive my annoying phone there, you press the up arrow. Now, I don't mean channel up or volume up. I mean you got that center select key. If you press the up arrow, it'll open up this Quick Tune menu. Now, this example here has, 8 of the 9 examples filled in with channels, okay? And then you see right over here, this one's empty, okay? So what you would do is, and these aren't pre-programmed. If you've never looked at this screen, the moment you open it up for the first time, they'll all be empty. It'll say empty on all 9 spots. What it allows you to do is program your 9 favorite channels. And when you ask customers, I know some of these packages have, 140, 150, 250, 365, 425 channels. But realistically, most of the customers I talk to, when I ask them, how many channels do you really watch? It's between 5 and 15 at most. So to have those 9 channels that you can automatically program into this Quick Tune so that you can quickly go to any one of those 9 is a fantastic feature. My wife and I use it a lot at home. So what you'll do is, let's say you want to fill in this empty spot. Before you even open the Quick Tune menu, go to the channel that you're wanting to add to the Quick Tune. So we got all these here. Let's say we want to add HBO to this empty spot right here. We'll go to HBO, and then we'll press the up arrow key, opening up the Quick Tune menu. We'll use always using the left, right, up, and down arrows to navigate through the Quick Tune. So navigate yourself over here to empty, and then hit enter. That's it. Enter on the remote. And it'll program HBO right there. And you can replace any one of these. Well, here's another example. Let's say, like this one's all full, and you have Home and Garden TV programmed right here. And you want to replace that with HBO. We'll go back to the HBO example. Again, before you open the Quick Tune menu, go to HBO. Then press the up arrow key to open up the Quick Tune. Navigate your way over here to HGTV and hit enter. And it will replace Home and Garden TV with HBO. It is that simple. So then if you ever want to watch any of these, doesn't matter what channel you're on, you just press the up arrow one, navigate yourself over to, let's say, Food Network, hit select, and bam, you're there. You're only hitting enter if you're wanting to replace or add a channel in there. If you're just wanting to actually go to that channel on your Quick Tune, just hit the center select key. It's an awesome feature. You know, it's some people complain it's only 9 channels. I think it's cool that it's 9 because that's a perfect number for me. Especially for my house. I have my wife, my 2 kids, well, 3 counting my 2-year-old, but she doesn't really use the remote a whole lot. And then myself. So, essentially I got my favorite 3. My wife has her favorite 3. And then, of course, the kids have their favorite 3. And it works out for my house. And that's a house of 4.5. So, yeah, cool feature. Moving on. This is the guide. Again, this picture right here is a very crappy quality. I apologize. But this is essentially what the new guide looks like. There's, again, so many different topics I could talk about, but one of the newest features, and this is really what I wanted to talk about with the guide, if you look over here in this little caption I took here, you see that little symbol right there. You'll see that a lot in the guide nowadays. And internet connection is required for this, but if you do have your receivers connected to the internet, and we're getting to the point where more and more people are having that. And if you don't have it, you need it, and you want help with it, call us. We can help you. But if you see this symbol right here, what that means is as you see in this example on A&E, the first 48, it's the name of the show, it's already like halfway through the show. I don't know how many times I've been watching TV and I'm scanning through channels and I see a movie on. The movies specifically, that's the one that bugs me. I see a movie on and it's halfway through and I'm like, crap, I wish I'd have seen that from the beginning. And sure, I can maybe go to the on-demand function and see if it's on there, or pull up some other program like Netflix or anything like that. Not that I want to vindicate those, but you get my point. That used to be the only way to try to see it from the beginning, or search for it and hope it's on again later so you can record it and watch it then, or set yourself a reminder. Anyway, let me get back on track. If you see this symbol, it allows you to start that program from the beginning. And they are adding that symbol to more and more content every time I turn my DirecTV on. It's ridiculous. I mean, when it first came out, it was like I had to scroll a couple of different pages to finally see that logo again. But they're getting it on more and more and more and more, which is great because, like I said, you find that movie and you're like, oh, crap, I wish I could see this from the beginning. If it has that symbol, as soon as you select on the first, like on this one, you select on the first 48. As soon as you select on it and the guide goes away and you're actually watching the program, a little icon shows up. It says push this button and you can start from the beginning, and bam, it starts you from the beginning. It's an awesome feature. Okay, so the last thing we'll talk about is the menu. And there's a bunch of different sections to this. There's My DirecTV. As you'll see here, there's search and browse, recordings, extras, and settings and help. These screens are constantly evolving, and they sometimes look different for me versus you. And I don't say me as a retailer, I say me as a consumer as well. And that is because like my DirecTV, this first section here. It tries to, it says right here, you might like. It tries to, know what your viewing habits are and, either suggest shows that it thinks you may like or put shows on there it knows you've been watching. So my DirecTV is just kind of a quick thing to kind of look at to say, okay, what's on this afternoon? Here's some shows I might like. It's just a quick way to say, well, okay, let's watch this. So then there's search and browse. Search and browse has 4 different sections. It has TV shows. And when you click on TV shows, it'll literally do the same thing that first screen did, where it kind of suggests what it thinks you might like, but it's also a full list of TV shows that are available. Whether they're things you have to set reminders or recordings for, things that are on now, or things that are on demand. There's the full on demand section right here, and that is that's the internet connections required for anything that's free. Any of the free on-demand content you have to have internet connection for. Also, be careful in that on-demand section because some of the paid content is in there. The movies you can rent. You can always rest assured if it doesn't have a dollar symbol and at no point asks you, "Are you sure you want to order this?" You're good to go. It's free. There's a dollar sign beside everything that costs, and not only if you forget and don't see that symbol, when you click it, it's going to ask you, I think twice, "Are you sure you want to order this?" So you got plenty of warning there. All movies is the same kind of thing as TV shows, where it shows like all movies that are on. Again, it does mix in some of the on-demand content and some of the paid content. Does recommend things based on what you've watched. One of my favorite features is Smart Search. This one right here. This screen is when you click on Smart Search, this is what pops up. Of course, there's selected searches before you've started typing anything, but it has this little keyboard. Again, to navigate this keyboard, don't try to use the number keys in the bottom. It's not like old school cell phone texting. No, just use the up, down, left, and right arrows and the select key. So you could type in like Seinfeld, you type S-E-I-N. Again, you could type out the whole thing, but it's a smart search. It's literally called Smart Search. So I guarantee you, if you type in S-E-I-N on this side of the screen, it's going to start to populate suggestions. And S-E-I-N Seinfeld's going to come up almost instantly. If you like Sons of Anarchy, if you type in the word Sons, I pretty much guarantee Sons of Anarchy is going to come up. So, and you can also search actor. If you don't know the name of the movie, but you know that Will Smith's in the movie, type Will Smith. It'll start showing you Will Smith titles. So yeah, cool feature. I think another one that's underused a lot. And I hate searching through the guide forever and ever and ever, days ahead, trying to find something good to watch. Or if I'm looking for something specific that I knew was on the day before, but I forgot to record it, things like that. I'll just go to Smart Search and re-find it. And I can set my DVR to record it or, set myself a reminder to watch it, or it might even be on demand. It'll show you all the different options right there on that screen. The next section is recordings. Now, this is a specific screenshot inside recordings. When you click on recordings, you'll get one of 2 options. And this is the first one, is Series Manager. You'll click on Series Manager. And what this does is show you all of the shows you have set to record. All of the series specifically. And then it shows you how many upcoming episodes are set to record. This is a great way if like, for example, in this section, they have The Office and Modern Family. Let's say you decided you want to stop watching Modern Family. It's just not for you anymore. You don't like it. Not to diss Modern Family. I don't think I've ever even seen it. But anyway, you could simply arrow down to this and delete it. And that'll stop it from recording it at all. That's a great way to do that. There's another way to do it, and I think that's how a lot of people use is the other way. But I don't even like talking about it because I think this is much simpler. This shows you your full list. Because I don't know how many times I've accidentally set a whole series to record, and and then my kids do it, my wife does it, and then my DVR gets crazy. I mean, even with the Genie, I sometimes my family gets crazy with it. So I'm able to go in there and, hey, honey, do you really want that recorded? Or, I'll talk to my son or my daughter and like, do you guys really need to record every episode of that? And that allows me to, control that. The other screen inside there is the to-do list. Now, this is very specific because this isn't just, this doesn't just put it as, the one series. It literally shows you day by day, hour by hour, exactly what you have set to record. So this is nice for those individual recordings. The other one's good for series. If, like if you're recording Seinfeld or The Office or, Modern Family or, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., whatever you're recording, The Walking Dead. This screen, however, is your individual recording. So let's say you just want to record, one show of The Daily Show or one show of Seinfeld, and you had it set to record, 6 days from now. You just want to see that one episode. This allows you to go in and individually delete those single recordings. So even if you've got Seinfeld set, I know we've used Seinfeld all day today, but if you have Seinfeld set to record the whole series, but there's one episode is coming up you don't want to record, all you do is find it in this screen, because this will show you every episode of Seinfeld you have set to record, and you can say that's the one I don't want to record and delete it. Okay, and then there's the extras screen. Again, I could go into this forever. This is a great way to find the apps that are built into the receivers. These are mainly useful for the DVRs that are connected to the internet. There's the YouTube and the Pandora apps. There's the caller ID functions. There's also they're always adding apps. So this is the place to go to find those apps that are going to be built into these receivers. I know Dish and Direct are constantly trying to find new cool apps to add to their receivers to kind of put everybody's multimedia into one place. They're a long way off from being that one-stop shop for all your entertainment needs, but they're getting there. So messages, I'll be honest, usually messages are just advertisements for boxing or they do sometimes though update you on like, hey, HBO is free for everybody this weekend, so things like that. You have active, which is like your horoscopes and your weather and things like that. So yeah. And then you have settings and help. Again, this is a screen I could go into for forever. Parental controls is an important one, but navigating through any of these things listed here under settings and help, you could potentially mess up a lot. So it's just nice to know where it is, because if you're ever trying to do this over the phone with us, or God forbid the 800 number, where to go to it. You just hit your menu and go down to settings and help, and there you are. But parental controls is a fairly safe one. You just have to line by line read everything before you push buttons. But parental controls can be cool, especially if you've got the younger grandkids coming over for the weekend, and you don't want to have to call the parents and say, oh crap, hey, they watched this late at night, sorry. So parental controls, that's where you get to them. So that does it. As always, if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, whatever, you can call the main line at 260-248-4888. Or you can call me directly, I'm the manager, at 260-244-3300. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.